Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with some more World of Warships Legends. I am, of course, your host for tonight's shenanigans, right? So we are in the Cherbourg. I'm not sure, probably bad at saying that ship name, right? But anyway, so this is the newer-ish French cruiser line, right? That, where a lot of these ships just have two big turrets in the front, and then that's pretty much all you got. And then it's very much so a cruiser. It, is filled with explodium, like many other cruisers, right? But I have a couple of games that I want to just go through really briefly here. So this one we do pretty well in, and I will call out, there is one good thing that this ship is good for. The tier 6, the Tulin, I have many videos making fun of that ship just because of how awful it is and how challenging it is to have good games with that. And the Cherbourg's not much different. It's definitely better, but it still comes with very, very similar challenges, where it just doesn't feel like the main guns hit as hard as they should, right? Like, we get, a bunch of overpens on this Atlanta, and I'm just like, come on, right? But we do get the one Citadel hit, right? And then here, I just didn't lead him enough because he's moving quicker at this point. He's trying to get into cover, right? I should have realized and recognized that. And then we've got the airstrike from the cruiser that's over on this end too. And I probably would have held on to that fire, but it did give us the steering gear impairment as well. Skane shows up here. I'm a big fan of see a destroyer, shoot a destroyer. Just trying to get my bearings on what this, I was like, all right, if we could finish off this Atlanta, right? I'm like, what if we have better shots on things? The Skane started turning away, so I didn't shoot at him, and I kind of wish I did. But anyway, I digress, right? So we'll see if we can't pick on this. What is it? The D7P that everyone calls it, right? Because we can't pronounce it. He sends another airstrike at us. One nice thing too, especially with this engine boost going, we are fast, right? So he is definitely not leading us enough with those airstrikes. In fact, I probably wouldn't even bother, right? Just because of how quick we can be. Then I do have the Blue Archive Commander equipped on here, so you get some better accuracy with the guns while you have the reload booster going, right? So if you see me trigger the reload booster before I even fire, that is why I'm doing that. But see, we land some decent hits there. I'm just I feel like it should have packed a little bit more punch, right? And I feel that way about damn near every salvo that we have with this ship. It's just come on, give me some more, right? And then, that one was we had a lot of good accuracy. I feel like he doesn't even think we're a threat, right? He's like, I might as well turn broadside. That ship sucks, right? And look, we get one overpen and one pen and do hardly anything, right? So my conundrum with this ship is I have, in this game we do pretty good. The next one is probably a better example of what I'm going to describe to you. But sometimes I'm playing this ship and I'm like, screw it, we're going full force in, right? I came around the outside, let's F some stuff up, right? We'll just keep pressing, right? So it is really, really great at triggering these types of situations with these crossfires. See, we get one pen and we get the Citadel on it, right? So there's some, I call it luck there or whatever, and we do a good chunk of damage, but then the rest are over pens, right? So I'm just super, super annoyed with that. So we know the destroyer's out here, so we're gonna duck and weave here as much as we can. Baltimore, and then this Vlad out here is, we get really, I'm gonna be honest, I get lucky that this guy doesn't focus fire on us, but he's so distracted by what's going on out in front of him. He's got 3 other cruisers out there, right, that he can see that he's trying to pick on and help his teammate with, right? There's that Baltimore that's kind of getting cornered at this point, right, just below B. So we'll, yeah, but what happens here is I have games like this where I come out wide like this because I feel like it's really the only thing the ship's good for is going out and trying to create these sneaky early on crossfires. And then I just have a poor game. It's just my damage is mediocre and my XP is mediocre and I'm like in the middle of the like leaderboard at the end of the game. And I'm like, well, I still made, like, you know, and, like, granted, the game can't register this, right? But I'm like, I made a lot of stuff happen just by, like, going out wide, right? Like, we created some confusion. The enemy is, like, doesn't know what to do. Like, this Skane, especially in particular, right? Like, he could have been out hunting other people, but, like, he's dealing with us, right? I'm just literally just chasing him at this point. Like, I know we're fast, and so we can just use our engine boost, especially. Like, it was great timing for this to come back. And just press in on him, because we're probably catching up to him, right? We probably got better speed than he does at this point with our engine boost going. So I'm going to just keep picking on him, right? And we know to watch for when he turns sideways, that he's probably sending torpedoes, so then we know to adjust course, right? But I'm just going to keep pressing towards him. I think he stopped firing there just to try and go undetected. But I'm just going to, you know, we just won't turn much unless we have to here, to try and try and catch up to him and get him spotted again. But we do get lucky. Like, I feel like this Vlad probably really could have done a number on us if he had started picking on us earlier than he does here. I think he finally realizes, like, oh my gosh, this is close by cruiser, like, you know. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, you know, we caught up to this Skane. I think we're probably spotting him regardless, right, whether he shoots his guns or not anymore. So I'm gonna try and get rid of him. And then just like, come on, like 6 kilometers out, and I land 1 shell of 8. I'm like, really, guys, right? So of course, you know, I feel like I'm on like destroyer duty now at this point. I'm like, I can't let him get away. I don't know if he just gives up on life, or if he disconnects here, but he goes still. So we'll take advantage of that, right? Just aim right for the middle of his ship. But still, like, how are we not landing everything? Right? Just so annoyed. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to skip ahead in this game just because it's a little bit of sailing simulator at this point, where we just are trying to go back towards A. I think their destroyer ends up going all the way around through A and all the way north, you know, to the other side of the map, doing I don't know what. Yeah, so we skipped ahead, and there, look at the mini-map. That's where the destroyer ends up. And then it's just this Tirpitz. I think I got a few hits on this Tirpitz that I didn't show, but it were just kind of like, they were so underwhelming, right? Like, I'm just like, this is just, like, I can't show this, right? I mean, granted, I've put some boring games out on YouTube, but I was just like, all right, I'm gonna skip ahead, right? So we're up on points. We're up on, you know, we got a 1 ship lead here. This Tirpitz is, you know, not long for this world at this point. I'm like, all right, we'll see if we can finish him off, and then I'll chill in the zone here. But my teammates do manage to, my one remaining cruiser manages to finish off the destroyer, so we get lucky there. And then it's just a matter of, like, you know, waiting for this reload that takes forever, right? And to shoot this Tirpitz some more. It's just like, yeah, we get high caliber there. Like, this was a good game. Like, this was probably one of, if not, like, I haven't had this ship for very long. I would be honest. Like, I'd been playing other stuff when, you know, like, the hybrids came out. I was playing those. We got one of the, like, new lines for the pan-European destroyers, right? So 2800 XP on the leaderboard. That probably is my best game, because here's the example of, like, and, you know, I don't know if it's just, you know, I'm getting lucky with matchmaking or what, but same situation, right? I spawned A side, and you can see we're already almost 3 minutes in, right? And I've already, like, moved way out to the flank as much as I could, right? So, and this is great because we get 2 cruisers out here, and we're not spotted yet. There's only 1 destroyer. I know he's in the B cap, right? So I'm like, we can be patient here and take this awesome shot at this mines, who's now, like, perfectly broadside to us, and get a whole bunch of overpens and 4,000 damage. I'm just, like, so annoyed with the, like, performance. I don't know what it's, yeah. But every game is, you know, it's a challenge. And then just, like, thought I had a great shot there, and then the Georgia just wipes him out with a dev strike, and I give him a good, you know, a nice job, but then look what happens. The Kansas just completely wrecks our Georgia. So I'm like, oh geez, I spoke too soon. So yeah, I'm on my third salvo here, and we're only at 4,000 damage with these gigantic guns in the front of this ship. I was just so one of the like, I mean, it's not as frustrating as the tier 6, but like I was just so much more hopeful. And I know that like these got a little scrutinized too when they first came out. So there are a lot of other folks that were playing through this tech line before I even touched it, right? So we'll see what happens when we get up to the tier 8. But so I'm out on the flank here, right? And what's happening is we're going unspotted because we've got, I put detectability, I gave us some decent concealment on the ship for the build, which is really, really helpful when you're doing this, right? If you go out wide and you're out there far enough and you don't have that destroyer chasing you down or something, right? Like you can go, if you need to go undetected, you can. Just hold off on firing your guns. The reload's longer than the 20-second penalty anyway. So, you can go undetected, if you need to make a turn or whatever, go broadside. Like there's value in that, but it's just like, I'm just not doing enough, like, XP earnable work, right? And just not creating enough, like, actual damage, right? But we get these 3 battleships on their team kind of coming out to this side, and so, like, whether they're trying to focus on us or just having bad luck, or whether we're creating the crossfire and everybody else is taking advantage of it, like, that's kind of what I feel is happening when I play this ship. Is I go out wide here, and people kind of focus on us when either they should just try and get rid of us, or like ignore us. I don't know, like where like they're trying to play this game of shoot everybody. Yeah, here this Kansas turns out, and people just end up just dying from it. Like they just like all 3 of these guys have quite a bit of health here. Someone hit that battleship further back pretty good. This Kansas, I could see that he's trying to look at us, so I can just hold off on firing until he fires at somebody else. Like, I'm gonna move away just so, so that we don't, then we have the choice, right? Like we have the choice whether or not we want to be spotted. And so, yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a turn here and start heading back towards my allies. But yeah, my team stomped over on the seaside, and so then, it was kind of like, I thought maybe over here there would be some competition for a while, but like, I mean, 20 hits and 19,000 damage, so less than 1,000 damage per hit, with almost, battleship length of reload on this thing. I'm so far away from the Kansas, even he goes dark. And then, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with our destroyer, whether he's sitting in smoke or what, but it's kind of like, how is nothing spotted here? There we go. Might have been me that picked him up. But, I'm just like, with 3 battleships that could wreck us, especially that Kansas, right? Like, could just take us out super, super quick. Like, I'm playing super conservative, trying to, like, have a decent game and go for the win. Because, right, otherwise your other choice is, like, be aggressive and then die, right? Like, you take that broadside hit to any one of these guys, from any one of these guys, and you're done, right? So, like, it's just, like, I don't know what to do, right? other than be a distraction here and there and, like, just take these cheapo pot shots. But, like, with that last salvo, we didn't do any damage to the Bismarck, so... the AP seems to be the way to go. Like, yeah, we do good chunky damage there, but it's still, like, really underwhelming. It's only 7,000 damage, right? Oh, yeah, then we got 2 Kansases, so the Kansai here, and I'm using the wall just because, like, I can't turn away from this just because we're going to get, another dev strike on our other cruiser. But I do think I was getting paired with Kansas's, like, quite a bit playing as this ship. Like, it was like every game there's at least 1 or 2. And so that was, like, super frustrating. So one of them I didn't save it because it was a huge stomp. But like it was ended up being me and a Kansas left. I think this ends up being a similar thing. I think this one over here ends up being the last one, right? But you can see over in the C cap, it's just they've broke through, and so the rest of the team is just chasing around the outside, and so it's only a matter of time till like my teammates get over here and can help with these guys. But it's like I just like I did damn near nothing this game. So like that Kansas is gonna go down. I'm like, all right, there's only 2 of them left. Like, let's go and be super aggressive, right? So I fire. He wasn't looking at me, so we fire, and we'll take advantage that he wasn't looking this direction, and we'll turn back in towards him, and like try to bow tank a little bit, right? It doesn't really work that great with this ship. It'd be nice if it did, but like he can punch us in the face pretty good if he wants to. And yeah, he takes a shot at the destroyer just because the destroyer's shooting at him, right? Like, so he saw the destroyer, so he's like, prioritized there. And then we'll use the reload booster. We got the better shell grouping. I think if you time it like perfectly, you can get 2 shots out of it, right? So you get a little bit better shell grouping with this the commander that we were using. So I'll go through the build at the end here. But yeah, this was what I'm just like, like. I don't know how to feel about this ship. It's definitely better than the Tulin. It's definitely better than the Tier 6. And man, that was a tough ship to love, right? so is this one. I'll use the damage con, not a big deal. These are the last 2 guys here. I'm just kind of like, take me. Like, this is how I have to, like, how I got to play to get some, like, damage numbers up on the board. I'm going to do it, right? I think the Nelson took a shot at us, but we're moving pretty quick here. Somebody finishes him off. Another Kansas. So many Kansai in here. Secondaries aren't anything to write home about. Like, I think I made this comment with the... Yeah, see, he took a big chunk out of us there. I think I made this comment with the Tulin quite a bit, too. There's, like, 2 nice big-looking turrets in the back of the Tulin, and the range on them is just terrible, right? So this has been the norm, right? Like this like mid score, right? But I win, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Like, this is the phenomena. I'm going to go and I'll show you what my win percentage is with this ship, and it's like I don't believe it myself because it's just weird, right? So it's just weird. Yeah, we'll go over the stats here. I'm 71%. Like, that's not great, but that's pretty good. And for a ship that I hate, right, that I'm like not, like, I feel like I'm struggling with it, right? So 10 wins to 4 losses gives us 71%. Look at the accuracy. The gun accuracy is 49%. Like, that's terrible. Max damage, max XP 2,300. So that, what was that? My other game? I mean, that might have been a little bit better. I can't remember now. But it's just, it's such a weird, I just don't know how to feel about this. Like, I'm just like low scoring, low damage doing, but then winning most of the time is just like the strangest thing to me. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I guess it can be like, you know, comparable to like good destroyer play where like, you know, if you're going out there and like just spotting stuff for the rest of your team, like that can really crank out the wins for you, right? Like, especially if you got cruisers that are like great DPS cruisers that can just chill back and hide and just farm, and you just sit up there and just spot, right? But yeah, so this is the Blue Archive Commander. I don't think she's all that great. I do like the base trait, but I'm using free guys for, you know, inspirations here. Beyond range. So I'm really going in for the AP damage, but like I said, it's like frustrating sometimes with over pens. A focused fire here. So this gives you the extra dispersion while the booster is active, and you get an extra reload booster charge as well. Plus I'm using fully packed, so then you get 4 total, right? And then I'm using fixated for the better accuracy, right? I'm just like, with like this build and the like just the like mediocre damage, it's like it's a frustrating ship. So I don't know, I feel like, you know, if it was, you know, if it was like good secondaries, like had good range or something, like that would be worth building into that. But honestly, any of the free guys I think are good choices here too. Maybe not, I don't know, maybe not this guy just because he's got a lot of, I mean, it's what I have, but like, like Andre Lemonnier is like very, very similar, right? Like this, you could do it, it's very close, right? So you could pick them if you don't have the blue archive. Honestly, I don't know if it was worth picking her up. I don't know. But that is the Cherbourg phenomenon that I'm like experiencing right now. It may change as we play more games. I'm sure my guess is my win percentage will just go down is what's probably going to happen, right? So, but we shall see. Thank you guys, as always. Thank you so much for watching my videos all the way through. Please do subscribe to the channel. I'm doing Legends videos pretty much every day. Usually post around the same time. We occasionally go live, all that other fun stuff. So we will see you next time.